Life can feel unforgiving at times, and one of its hardest lessons is that nothing is promised. The world doesn't guarantee success, affection, or even justice. It's a truth echoed throughout history, captured in the wisdom of the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius once declared that you have power only over your own mind, not over external circumstances. Clinging to the belief that the world owes you will only cultivate resentment and disappointment. But when you take ownership of your attitude and actions, you unlock genuine strength. Entitlement is a weight that drags you down, while responsibility propels you forward. The moments that shape you are rarely the ones handed to you freely, but the ones you fight for, overcome, and create for yourself. Release your expectations. Embrace the challenge. True fulfillment is found not in what you receive, but in who you become through your effort and perseverance. When faced with harsh words or insults, our first impulse is often to strike back, eager to prove our worth or defend our pride. Yet wisdom teaches us to resist that urge. The Stoic philosophers saw reaction as surrendering control, believing that true mastery lays in self-restraint. Marcus Aurelius advised that we always have the choice not to form an opinion, reminding us that calm is not a sign of weakness, but of true power. By choosing to observe instead of retaliate, we separate ourselves from the chaos of knee-jerk emotions. In that quiet pause, we discover authority over our own mind. The truly strong are not those who shout the loudest or react the fastest, but those who remain composed when challenged. In a noisy world, choosing silence is an act of strength, a subtle defiance, and often the greatest victory of all. Have you ever felt like everyone else is surging ahead, leaving you behind? That uneasy sense that you're somehow running out of time? Remember Marcus Aurelius's words. Don't waste time comparing yourself to others. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Social media can trick us into thinking there's a deadline we're missing. But the Stoics teach us, your timeline is your own. Walk your path with intention, not comparison. Failure is an inevitable part of every journey, a shared experience that unites us all. But what truly defines us is not the mistakes we make, but our response to them. Picture failure not as an endpoint, but as a mere pause, a moment to reflect and recalibrate. Each setback whispers valuable lessons, offering insight into our weaknesses and reminders of our resilience. The ancient Stoics understood this truth, embracing the idea that adversity forms the foundation of character. To fall is human, but to rise, stronger, wiser, and more determined, is a conscious choice. Don't let disappointment become a permanent state. Instead, dust yourself off, analyze what went wrong, and move forward with renewed purpose. Use every fall as fuel for progress, transforming regrets into stepping stones. After all, real courage isn't the absence of failure, it's the relentless commitment to start again, no matter how many times you stumble. Pain often arises not from what happens to us, but from our grip on things that have already gone. We hold tightly to people, to expectations, and to past versions of ourselves, unsure how to release what no longer serves us. Yet Stoicism offers another way, the art of letting go. This isn't a passive surrender, but rather the wisdom to focus only on what we control and to accept with grace what we cannot change. Epictetus reminds us that true freedom is found in being indifferent to everything outside our influence. Letting go, then, is not defeat. It's an act of reclaiming our inner peace, of redirecting energy toward our choices and responses. By loosening our grip on the uncontrollable, we discover a new clarity, a lighter mind, and a deeper presence in the life we are living, right here and right now. In the midst of relentless notifications and non-stop digital chatter, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and scattered. The temptation to chase every new alert or scroll endlessly can leave your mind exhausted, longing for a sense of clarity and peace. But the secret isn't about shutting out the world completely, it's about cultivating a refuge within. Imagine granting yourself small moments of deliberate pause, stepping back from distraction to observe your own thoughts. The wisdom of the ancient Stoics reminds us that our greatest power lies in our ability to respond, not react. Rather than surrendering your attention to every external demand, consider what truly deserves your focus. Let your daily choices reflect intention and mindfulness. Even amidst chaos, you can create an inner sanctuary, a place of calm and resilience that nobody can disturb. Stillness is not an escape, but a powerful return to yourself. Choose it and rediscover what truly matters. People will whisper, assume, and judge from afar, painting a version of you that's all their own. Yet the truth is, their perceptions are not your prison. As Marcus Aurelius observed, we tend to value the opinions of others, often at the expense of our own peace. But why give away our power so easily? Holding tight to our sense of self is the heart of the Stoic way, choosing to live by our own principles rather than bending to public scrutiny. You don't need to justify yourself or seek approval to live authentically. The quiet resolve to stay true, to persist in your purpose without broadcast or applause, is its own reward. In the end, it's not the noise around you, but the conviction within that defines who you are. Liberation begins when you decide your worth is not up for negotiation. Walk forward, unmoved and unmistakably yourself. Waking up tired isn't always about your body. Sometimes it's the weight of a restless mind that keeps you drained. Your thoughts race from one worry to the next, caught in a loop of notifications, expectations, regrets, and comparisons. Day after day, you carry burdens that aren't yours, fears born from what others might think, worries fueled by things outside your control. This isn't laziness, it's exhaustion from too much mental clutter. Stoic wisdom reminds us that most of what weighs us down comes from within, not from the world around us. Maybe the answer isn't adding more to do, more to prove, but subtracting the noise, urgency, and comparison. Real strength comes from stillness, from learning to care less about what doesn't matter. Feeling drained doesn't mean you're weak. Standing up despite it proves your resilience. Guard your peace, nourish your mind, and you'll feel your strength return. Every morning begins with a silent battle, a clash of hopes, anxieties, plans, and memories swirling in your mind. It's a private war, invisible to everyone but yourself. Doubt whispers, regret lingers, fear tries to seize control. Yet, in the midst of this mental storm, there is a key: how you respond. Epictetus taught that while we can't dictate what happens to us, we alone decide our reaction. And that makes all the difference. Most people chase after changing the world around them, searching for order in chaos, never realizing real peace starts from within. The Stoic understands: train your mind, tame your emotions, and the world's noise grows faint. When your inner fortress stands firm, no outside tempests can breach your calm. Life's battles are endless, but victory belongs to those who master themselves. When you become your own ally, the world loses its hold on you. Criticism. It stings. It unsettles, leaving us defensive, eager to shield our fragile egos. But what if we could see it differently? The Stoics, ancient seekers of wisdom, believed that every jab or insult wasn't a threat, but an invitation. An invitation to examine ourselves, to grow stronger by remaining unshaken. Epictetus taught us that when we hear someone speaks ill of us, we needn't rush to justify, explain, or retaliate. Instead, we should recognize that outsiders cannot truly know our innermost selves. Rather than clinging to pride or anger, we can meet criticism with calm curiosity. Where is the truth here? What can I learn? What should I let go? Every criticism becomes a mirror, reflecting both what we should improve and what we should ignore. With practice, hence, we separate useful feedback from noise. By choosing composure over conflict, forgiveness over fury, we embody the real strength that is Stoicism. People will always have something to say about your ambitions, the path you choose, even the way you respond when faced with criticism or uncertainty. But here's a liberating truth. What others think is a reflection of their own perspectives, not a verdict on your life. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, control belongs to your own thoughts, not the judgments swirling outside you. The voices that question, doubt, or criticize, they don't know your deepest desires, your struggles, or your reasons. Their words hold no power unless you give it to them. You weren't put here to win everyone's approval. You're here to fulfill your own purpose. When others judge you, it's often a sign you're on the right track, doing something worth noticing. So hold firm. You owe no explanations. Let people have their opinions. Your sense of peace is yours alone. Stand tall and move forward, uncompromised. In a world overflowing with noise, constant scrolling, and endless distraction, the greatest challenge may be facing oneself. The urge to fill every quiet moment, to escape into conversations and notifications, is often just a shield against the profound power of silence. But the ancient Stoics saw solitude differently. For them, being alone wasn't an absence, but a rich opportunity for insight and growth. Seneca's reminder resonates. If you are everywhere, you are nowhere. Hiding from our thoughts only postpones the inevitable meeting with our true selves. Yet in that meeting lies strength. In silence, the distractions fade, and what truly matters rises to the surface. When you stop running from yourself, you stop needing the world to validate you. The Stoic finds freedom in solitude, transforming his loneliness into resilience. Stillness isn't emptiness, it's the birthplace of your unshakable inner life.